should be okay. So we have this 8-hour supply demand zone here, and it's a bit of a challenge here. It becomes because the arrival is not ideal at all. The arrival is not ideal at all in this zone here, and this rally, a drop-based drop in this case here is an opposing level, and by respecting our rules, we would have to put our target just before it. With that being said, someone who is a set and forget trader, you remember what we said? You remember what we said about how set and forget traders can deal with the fact that they just don't have control over the arrival, and well, no one has control, but I mean they don't know how it's gonna look like, what kind of pattern they should be looking for to increase the odds of the arrival being in their favor. Does anyone remember that? Let me just make sure we're clear on this. Not exactly, John, not exactly. We were talking about that. That's how the setup looked like before entry. We were talking that to make sure that the distance between target and entry is connection problems for Kalita. Does it sound okay for everyone, or is it just on Kalita's side? All right, we're good. Okay, thank you guys. So to make sure that we have a decent arrival on, to increase the probability of having a decent arrival, then we would have to make sure that our departure is also clean, meaning as like in this case here. So we end up with a rally-based rally. The second one has to be obviously extended, and it should not contain any opposing level, any further demand levels on the way up. Because remember, as price is coming back down in the arrival section, any new level that is to be created upon arrival is very likely going to be a reaction to a previous level. And if we do not have any previous levels in this area here, within the ellipse, then we are unlikely to have opposing levels in this area here. But as we can see, we already have this drop-based drop opposing level in the arrival section. So now we become a bit of a confusion situation. So which one do we do? Bashir told us that we have a clean departure, then we should have a clean arrival as well. Well, understand that this drop-based drop here is, we can, with a fair degree of accuracy, expect it to be violated because we don't expect to be a major supply level because it didn't have to overcome any kind of demand upon the departure. Okay, David, now we're purely talking about trend trading. Not just the counter. I understand what you mean, but not purely trend trading. Okay, as for intermediate time frame, larger time frame, and the whole deal. All right, guys, is this making sense? I know I may not have projected it in the most organized fashion, but I hope we already talked about this one. All right, well, you see online, at least you're honest. All right. The departure, if it's clean as such here, and it doesn't contain any demand zones on the way up, then we expect the arrival to replicate this image. And if it doesn't have a mirror image of it, if the arrival is not a mirror image of the rally, then even if we have a supply zone in the arrival, we expect that supply zone to be violated. But all this is just playing the game of probability. So for anyone who's a set and forget kind of trader, and they don't have the choice of watching their arrival, then that's the way they can increase the probability of having good entries, by making sure that the departure from the levels that they choose are high quality as well. Okay? Same story here, for instance, in this supply zone. This rally-based drop, notice how extended and clean the drop is. It doesn't contain any supply levels. As the arrival is happening, price came back to it. It's not the most clean arrival. It has an opposing level at 38.50, but that was easily violated because that opposing demand zone is not expected to be as strong.